Stop fearing rejection and embrace your authenticity. There's a secret and a confession that I have to tell you and make to you today. I lived the vast majority of my life being quite inauthentic because I was afraid of the rejection of everyone. You, the person next to you, the person next to that person's great aunt, that person's ex-husband's girlfriend's brother. It's veterinarian. I was afraid of everybody's rejection, and it was a horrible place to live. I built my own prison of fear, and it made me live a life where I was constantly working to please everybody. Well, today I'm going to tell you all the mistakes that I made there and the plan for you to stop worrying about what everybody else thinks about you so that you can embrace your true authenticity and live a happier, bigger, brighter, and more successful life than you may even think is possible right now. Stick around.
Guild Coaching. More success, less stress.
When we live our lives in fear of rejection or other people's judgment of us, what it does is it places us in turmoil. In this video description, there's a link to a blog that Guild posted more than a year ago about your emotional ocean. And it's about the different layers of emotional awareness that you can have and where you really want to be in that spectrum. So check out that little freebie. There's an infographic there that can help you keep yourself in check. But when we are constantly living in fear, we've raised our state of anxiety. We've raised our state of stress. It's very, very unhealthy for us. And it causes us to be very inauthentic, because when we are living in that fear, what we end up doing naturally, everyone ends up doing naturally, is living every moment, second guessing our thoughts, trying to fulfill our actions only with the purpose of pleasing other people. And when you do that and you bring an inauthenticity along with you instead of your authentic self, you are going to constantly disappoint the other people and yourself, because you can only bring what is authentically yours and what's authentically inside you. And so anything else that you bring through inauthenticity is not real. And it's also not to the caliber, to the level, and to the quality that you should be bringing. Whether it's duties at work or things that you are doing for friends or family, if you are doing things that are not in your strength set, that are not part of your heart, that your heart isn't in, then you're bringing a lower quality product in whatever area that is. So there's a couple of things that you really need to know to help you shift your mindset in this area. Now I want you to go down to the comment section and type in something that I say to you quite often. Mindset is everything. Go down and type that into the comments right now. It'll help you remember it. It'll help make it real for you. Mindset is everything. All of this comes right back to mindset. If you can change your mindset about rejection or other people's opinions or judgment, then you can change your actions and your thoughts and your life. Mindset is everything. The first thing that you need to know to shift your mindset is all those things that you're worried about getting judgment on or being critiqued about or being rejected for. Nobody's paying attention to them as much as you are. I remember when I was much younger, more years ago than I'd like to admit, I waited tables, which is a job that I loved because I love talking to people and hearing their stories. Obviously, I've kept that part of my work in my profession. But I was waiting tables at a place that was really fun. The wait staff was fun. The managers were fun. I enjoyed going. I liked the clientele. But I remember I had a huge pimple on my face. And I was really so self-conscious that I actually called in sick to work that day because I was so embarrassed. I put makeup on it. It just wasn't good enough for me. I faked sick because I was afraid of the judgment of other people. I was just taking people's orders and bringing them food. It's not like I was gonna, get nasty pimple stuff in their food. But I was so afraid of other people's judgment, of thinking that I was dirty, of thinking that I was gross, of thinking that I wasn't pretty, that I called in sick to work. And frankly, I really put my boss in a jam that night because somebody else really was sick and there weren't enough people to serve the crowd that came to the restaurant that night. So what you've got to remember is little things like that you are just so hyper focused on, other people really don't care. During those days, and I mean, it was a long time ago, I had a roommate and she knew what I was doing and she said, "You're crazy, nobody's gonna notice that thing." And she was right. I was focusing on something that was fictitious. It was just all in my head because I was focusing on that pimple. The pimple seemed like it was, the size of the Empire State Building. And actually it was just a little pimple on my face. Not a big deal. So the first thing that you really need to understand is people aren't watching you as closely as you think they are. Type that into the comments. People aren't watching me as closely as I think they are. Do you know what they're worried about? Do you know what they're thinking about? Themselves, because we're all very, very interested in who we are. And if you walk around life wondering if you're getting judged, it's hard to stand up straight. It's hard to look people in the eye. It's hard to have good posture, and you look less confident. You look very sad because you don't have that confidence, that surety. You've got to understand that people aren't watching you like you think that they are. You also need to accept yourself. I am who I am, how I am right now. This is who I am. This is who I bring to the table. If this isn't good enough for you, then we weren't meant to be together. We weren't meant to have interactions. And so I need to respect you and anybody else who has that opinion enough to release you and let you go. But sit in your own authenticity and own it. You can be the strangest person in the world. There are some really interesting characters in the world who are some of the most famous people because they have something unique and they own it. They're not worried about being judged or falling short of other people's expectations. They really, really own themselves, they own their stuff, they own their uniqueness, and that gives them a special place in the world. They're not worried about fitting in because people who try to fit in never actually do. People who try to fit in are the ones that always feel like they don't. And the third thing that you really, really need to do in order to stop fearing rejection, stop fearing being judged, is have a daily routine. Check the video description here. There's another link to an ebook that I've written for you to help you develop your own custom morning routine. It needs to involve deep breathing and thought, meditation, prayer if you pray, exercise. When you pour into yourself, your confidence, that number 2, really standing and owning your unique self, is so much easier to have. That morning routine sounds like, yeah, I hear people say that you've got to have a morning routine. It helps with all of that. It helps you to own your unique place in the world. It helps you to own the beautiful uniqueness that is you. And then when you find yourself in that place where you are owning who you are and how you are, the world is a brighter place. You don't worry about fitting in because the place where you fit then becomes clear to you. When you are yourself, you fit in exactly how you're supposed to every place you go. If this video has been of any help to you, please give me a thumbs up just to let me know you like it. And also before you go, please subscribe and click the little bell so you'll get a notification the next time we drop a video. Until next time, I'm Dr. Jane with Guild Coaching, guildcoaching.com.